Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Miss Cindy. I'm Miss Cindy from the South Brunswick Public Library. Today, as usual, we are going to do a microwave-only recipe. Something that is not going to require you to use a stove, an oven, anything like that. It's all purely done in the microwave. I'm talking about microwave nachos that are going to take less than 5 minutes to cook. So let's go. Let's get our nachos going. Let me tell you what you're going to need. First, and most importantly, tortilla chips. Then cheese. I'm using a Mexican blend, but any cheddar would be really good, or an American cheese too. Everything after this is optional. I'm going to be using sour cream, black beans, and green onions, also known as scallions. So I say that all these ingredients are optional because just like the quesadillas, really all that you need for nachos are chips and cheese. Everything else is just extra depending on what you like and what you're feeling that day. So let's get our chips going. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill my bowl. Make sure, as usual, that the bowl that you're using is microwave safe. It's usually better to use something more similar to a bowl than a plate because you want to get something with high sides. Alright, let's do that. Okay, and now our cheese. For this, I'd probably say 2/3 of a cup would be good. You want to make sure to sprinkle that evenly. And not as messily as I am. You want to make sure you get a good amount of cheese in the layers. So I'm actually just going to move some of these. That was 1/3. Here is the second third for 2/3. I have these kind of clumpy bits, so I'm just going to unclump them a bit. And again, try to spread this evenly. Good. Now we are going to take our beans. I'm using black beans because that's the kind that I like. You can use any kind of beans that you like, any kind of beans you have at home, or no beans if you don't like beans. Now, these beans are often really liquidy, so you probably want to strain them or save them for later and just kind of pull out a little bit. I'm actually going to be using some of these beans for another recipe later on, so I'm not going to strain them. I'm just going to pull out a couple spoonfuls. And this is really just to taste. When a recipe says that something is to taste, it really just means however much you want. However looks, smells, tastes, seems right to you. So this is probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of beans. And I'm going to go ahead and say that that's good. Now, the green onions, I'm going to wait to put it in after it's microwaved. So for now, this is going to go in the microwave in 30-second intervals until it's done. This will probably be done in about a minute, but it could be up to 1.5 minutes depending on how much cheese you put in and what kind of microwave you have. So what I would do is just check it after every 30 seconds. This is 30 seconds on mine. It's melty, but it still needs a little bit more, so I'm going to put it in another 30 seconds. These are the nachos after 1 minute, looking much, much better. So now, it's time for the cold stuff. This is the stuff that I didn't want to get microwaved because it tastes fresher and better when it's cold. So first off, the green onions. Now you could cut these with a knife, and I often do. But one thing that I like to do, if I'm just going to be sprinkling them over something, is I like to take my kitchen shears, these scissors here, they're called shears, and just use them to slice up. I do the same thing with cilantro, some herbs. Just makes it a lot easier for me and safer for you guys. Now this is a big, hefty green onion. You'll probably get much smaller slices if you do it though. Alright, I think this is good for me. I'm just gonna spread out a little bit more. Okay, and now time for the sour cream. You can also use plain yogurt for this. Greek yogurt would also go really excellently. Lime juice. Just going to put a couple dollops here and there. And that is it. This is a very basic recipe for nachos that is super easy for you to do in the microwave. As always, make sure to check the description because I'm going to put in tons and tons of other ideas of other add-ins, other styles, and other things that you can do to make these nachos your own and make them something that you can use to clean out your pantry or clean out your fridge. That came together in a snap. It is a super fast, super easy recipe that I love because you can pretty much use anything you want to put into it and it will most likely come out delicious. Use stuff that you have in your pantry, use the stuff that you want to have in your fridge, and just use up any leftovers that you want to get rid of. It's also something that's really easily customizable. If you like a certain thing on your nachos but not something else, you can easily make yourself a small batch. Someone else can get a small batch for them, and it works out real well for everybody. So, as usual, if you have made anything from my Cooking with Miss Cindy classes or anything from my Tween Tuesday crafts, I'd love for you to send it to me. I'd love to know what you guys are up to. So you can send anything you got to this address right here. I'm excited to hear from you guys. So until we see each other next Friday on Cooking with Miss Cindy, bon appetit. Bye.